Hey guys, so I want to talk more about tire size and gravel bikes and where are we going with gravel bikes. Continental just announced a new line of gravel tires that goes all the way up to 700 by 55. That's a 29 by 2.2 inch tire. It's literally a cross-country racing tire, and it's not too far off of where we see the trend going when we look at many of these gravel events, where we see not only gravel riders using mountain bike cross-country tires, but we also see them using cross-country frames and putting drop bars and everything else. So where are we really going with that, and what should you ask yourself when you're thinking of building up a gravel bike? Maybe it's your second, maybe it's your first, but you're building up a gravel bike. What do you want to do with your gravel bike, and which direction would you like to take it? So I'm going to take it deep into this wider tire direction. As you know, I've always been a big fan of wider rims. These are actually mountain bike rims. These are the DT Swiss XM 481 cross-country mountain bike rim. I don't think they're cross-country. I think they're more of the trail mountain bike rim. They're 30 millimeter internal width. These are the SRAM Explorer rims, which are the SRAM Explorer or Zip 101, because SRAM bought Zip, and these rims are 28 millimeters internal width. And so let's took some measurements. I got my measuring tool, and I think I got it zeroed out. Yep, it's zeroed out pretty good. So let's see how this looks on a 30 millimeter wide rim, this is a 700 by 45. And measure it. Now let me give you a little review, not a review, but a little more in-depth knowledge about these Kenda tires. They are going to run big. Kenda tires not only run big, so it's actually right at 45. So it's 700 by 45 right on the dot. But what I mean by run big is the width they have here from here to here. It's actually going to run pretty big. They go out there a lot. If you compare from where the rim is to where the top of the tire is, it goes out pretty far. It's almost 44, 43, 44. So now let's look at these 700 by 45C aggressive Schwalbe Ultra Bite tires and these are the other one was the Kenda Alluvium. And let me see, I got the name written here. I've got the name written on the tire. Yeah, the Alluvium. And let's look at these Schwalbe Ultra Bite and how wide do they go on these I-28 rims. All exactly at 45. So it seems like the wider rims almost make them come to a true 45. Now I'm going to take you even farther down this path of wider, and these are 700 by 50 tires. These are 750 tires on an I-30 velocity blunt rim. So this is the bird spokes. This is the DT, same width as this one, but with a different rim. And let me see, this is, and Schwalbes are usually pretty true to size. So I mean, this is a Kenda, this is a Panaracer Race King or Gravel King 51. So it goes almost 52. It goes a little bit bigger, and Panaracers run pretty big too. Let's see how tall those measure up. I forgot to do the other one, but you could tell they're not as tall. I would say about 46, so they're a little bit taller. But I mean, the bigger the tire, the width you go, sometimes it goes taller. And so now I want to talk to you about what's your intention with your gravel bike. Are you really a person that's into drops and just grinding out the miles, and you want to be the drops, you want that's comfortable for you, like you more aero when it gets windy and you're going against a headwind, maybe you're doing a lot of road miles? Do you really want the drops? Or why not just get a mountain bike and use flats. But with these bigger gravel tires. Because if you look at this mountain bike, and this is an older mountain bike, and these wheels will fit on my gravel bike, but if you look at an older mountain bike, how much different are we with the geometry and now with the bigger tire sizes and the bigger clearances they're making these bikes to do the 700 by 55. I don't know how many gravel frames will fit that in there, but there are a few. There's actually some that go even bigger that do 2.4. So when you get into a gravel bike with 2.4 inch tire clearance, or 700 by 60 at that point, how much different is it just having a hardtail? And couldn't you just get a cross-country hardtail and put some gravel tires on it and call it a day? Now this obviously has been modified. It's got the riser bars and everything like that. But think of a cross-country frame that's really made with that cross-country geometry. Probably the newer cross-country frames aren't going to have. This is a 69 head tube angle. So how much we have 69.5 right now head tube angle on gravel bikes. So how much difference is this? And so I want you to ask yourself that. And if you're going to go down that rabbit hole, or if you're going to get into bikes with wider tires, should you consider getting a modern gravel frame that's actually boost spacing? So I'm going to leave you with that question at the end, because then that's also going to open up your bike and wheel combination with your XC mountain bikes, or even your trail mountain bikes, when you want to basically take off those stock hubs and relace them to different rims, and you want to reuse those hubs. You can reuse those hubs. You wouldn't be able to use the front, because the front will probably be 12 millimeter through as far as the axle width, but it'll be a 100 by 12. But you could use a rear boost, which if you get a rear boost gravel bike, you'll have the same boost, 12 by 148. So that's something you might consider. And then one more thing I want to show you before I leave. I finally got my new bar tape on this bike. Now this was a little bit of a pain to get this in here and get that all covered up, but I did. I really worked with it, and I think that tape looks amazing. So that's the tapeless bar tape, top to bottom wrap, and I put these new bar ends on there. And tell me how you think that looks, guys, and I'll talk to you later.